Hey friends, good morning. Now just a very quick video today just to cover the brilliant announcement of the brand new Apple iPad Mini 5, which Apple announced like this morning. Yes, that's right. Of course, no, Apple did not, in fact, announce the iPad Mini 5, which a lot of us, especially us pilots, were really kind of looking forward to. No, instead they announced there was a new MacBook Air, there are new updates to the Apple stores, the new iPad Pros, and then Lana Del Rey sang a nice song at the end. But we were left wondering, well, what about the iPad Mini 5? The iPad Mini 4 was released in September 2015. That's like over 3 years ago. So where's the update?
Today, we're announcing an all-new iPad Pro, and it's gonna push what you can do on iPad or on any computer even further.
The new range of iPad Pros were released, but are they any good for use in aviation and for use by pilots in the cockpit? Well, let's take a look through some of the specs. Well, the smallest size that you can get in the iPad Pro now is 11 inches. That's the diagonal measurements of the screen itself compared to the 7.5 inches which we have currently in the iPad Mini 4. So it's a lot larger in terms of the physical size that will be occupied on your lap. They all come with the new True Depth camera, which gives you Face ID for face unlocking. Now, I'm not sure how useful that is in the cockpit. I actually set my iPad Mini without a passcode, so I can just press the home button and it will unlock straight away. I haven't tried using Face ID to unlock a device in the cockpit. I don't know if it's going to be distracting. I don't know if you can disable that entirely and just unlock the iPad Pros with a single touch, but depending on that and depending on how you like to lock and unlock your iPads in the cockpit, having Face ID and no physical home button, that might be a consideration for you. Yeah, also it's raining this morning, so apologies if there's any drops. One of the key differences is the chip that's inside. So the new chip, there's the A8 processor, which is in the iPad Mini 4. The new iPad Pros have got the new A12X processor. This is supposed to give you 3 times the speed in terms of CPU performance and 8 times the speed in terms of graphics performance. So if you are running apps on the new iPad Pros compared to the current versions of the iPad Minis, in theory they should run a lot faster. The iPad Pros come with a new Apple Pencil as well, and I actually quite like using a stylus on an iPad in the cockpit, but I've found that sometimes when you get the stylus on the end of pencils it's a little bit fiddly, but this obviously is designed to integrate properly with the iPad Pro. Also it's got the tap button on there where you can activate some of the features, so having that stylus for writing things down like clearances could be quite useful in the cockpit. Battery life between the iPad Pro and the Minis is exactly the same. It's advertised as up to 10 hours. And then the pricing has been released. Now you can pick up an iPad Mini 4 here in Australia for about $400 or $500 depending on whether you want Wi-Fi and cellular. The new iPad Pros, the 11 inches, starts at $799 US dollars, that is, for just the Wi-Fi version. Or if you want the Wi-Fi and cell version, which I actually recommend when you're flying, because if you can't tether your iPad to your phone, you want to get an actual internet signal whilst you're in the cockpit. That's very useful at times. US dollars is $949. Here in Australia it's $1,449 for the base level. That's the 64 gigabyte iPad Pro 11 inches, which is quite a step up from what you'd be paying for the iPad Mini 4 at the moment. So should you upgrade? That's the question. Well, to be honest with you, there could still be an announcement for a new iPad Mini 5 in the future. I think sometimes what Apple do is they want to release the big items and then afterwards they go and release some of the smaller items. So maybe just hang fire if you are waiting for a newer, smaller version of the iPad Mini, because that might be coming out soon. But if you do want to upgrade to the iPad Pro, the best advice that I can give you is check with whoever makes your electronic flight bag, if that's Avplan, Ozrunways, 4Flight, Skydemon, whatever you use, check with them that it's been tested to run on the new hardware before buying the new hardware and trying to run the software on there. Me personally, what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick with my iPad Mini 4 for the moment, and it's mainly just because it runs the applications fine, there's no speed issues, and the size to me, just because it's nice and compact in the cockpit, that makes all the difference. So I'm going to stick with the iPad Mini 4, and if a new version comes out which has got the pencil and some of those processor and speed upgrades, then I'll probably upgrade to the Mini 5 at that point. Okay, that's it. Hope you found that useful. Thank you for watching. Let me know in the comments below what you think about the new iPads. Are you also waiting for the iPad Mini 5 like I'm going to be doing? If you enjoyed this content, give us a like. If you're new to the channel, hello, welcome, I'm Steph. Click on the subscribe button if you like these kind of aviation, travel and tech updates in the future. Otherwise, back to regular programming as of tomorrow. Have a great day.